or it's all clear?
Abhishek, the homework that you gave yesterday, I
Hmm.
guess the last one, the last part of
Hmm.
it, where we have to install the integration service and linked service for
Hmm.
SQL Server.
Hmm.
So that part, I have some confusion over there,
What kind of confusion?
where I tried to connect via integration runtime, and then it shows some error. Like it says integration runtime is currently unavailable. Please try creating link service once it's online.
Show me. Can you share your screen?
Yeah. Host disabled participant screen sharing. Yeah, this is the error that I'm getting.
Give me the control. So this integration runtime you haven't registered, I guess. Have you registered it?
No, I think I have. I didn't know how to register it.
So yesterday I told you, right? So you need to first install it and then open that integration runtime, and then there is a key. This key you need to use.
Okay, I think I have to do that.
This particular key. Yeah, do that now. Open the integration runtime, and by using this key, register that. Where's that integration runtime?
I think I uninstalled it and then again I tried
Yeah,
installing.
so do
It
that. You
is
will
right
be
now
able to do it.
installing it. Okay.
Do that. You will be able to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm sharing my screen. Give me, guys. I'm coming in 2 minutes. Someone is in the door. I'm coming in 2 minutes. Okay. Yeah, so yesterday we have seen what is a link service, what is integration runtime, what is pipeline, activity, and data set. That is what we have seen yesterday. So we will continue forward from there. Let me open my slide. Yeah, so these are the three things which is important whenever you start working in data factory: data set, pipeline, and activity. Data set is basically a reference point of where data is located. So first you need to install integration runtime, and after that you need to make a link service. Then whatever copy operation you apply, whatever you do, it will be done by using data set if you're dealing with data. So it is a reference point of where data is located. Okay. Now if I come to activity, okay, so there is a pipeline, there is a data set. Now, data set we understood, it is a reference point of where data is located. That is what we have understood. And also we have understood how we can move the data from input container to output container. That also we have understood, okay. Now, when it comes to activity, there are three kinds of activity: data movement activity, data transformation activity, and control flow activity, okay. We will understand all of that in very detailed fashion now. So what is data movement activity? Data movement activity basically means data copy data activity. So whenever you try to move the data from one point to another, that is a data movement activity. And in data movement activity, copy data activity comes, which helps you to copy the data from one point to another. Okay. Now, when it comes to data movement activity, copy data activity can be performed not in every source and every sink. Okay, so if you feel that Abhishek, I do have the data in MySQL as a source and I want to move the data to data lake, that you can do. But suppose if you want to move the data from data lake to MySQL, that you cannot do using data factory. You can do it anyways, but using data factory, that you cannot do. Why? Because sink container is not available. If you see, now I am going to this activity. So if you go to the sink MySQL, if I search MySQL, see, MySQL source is present, sink is not present. And what does it mean? If you open a data factory, let me open a data factory. Yeah, so if I go over here, if I create, so this is the normal, like a pipeline which we have created yesterday, right? So if I search a copy data activity over here, and in the source, if I search, if I make a data set, okay, if I type MySQL, it is coming MySQL, okay. But if I go to the sink, if I click over here, if I type MySQL, MySQL is not coming over here. So sink is not separated. Anyways, in IT world, you can do everything by API, by calling a API, and like by using some APIs that you can do. But directly you cannot access it by making a MySQL link service, that you cannot do. Okay, so that is not possible. So it is just example, but Microsoft is increasing day by day this particular document. So suppose currently it is not available, so in future it can be available. So you can come here and check whether that connector is available or not, so that data factory can use it, make a link service and connect it. So connector is available or not, that you can see it over here. Okay. Now, the second type of activity is a data transformation activity. Any activity which helps you to transform the data, like movement is done, but if you want to join the data, if you want to just add additional column, if you want to do any kind of data transformation, that comes under a data transformation activity. In that activity, data flow activity, map reduce, spark streaming, notebook activity, all of that comes. So you can search all of that activity over here. Suppose stored procedure activity, Databricks, Databricks notebook activity, see Databricks notebook activity. Okay, all of that activity comes under the data transformation activity, any activity which helps you to transform the data. Now the third activity is a control flow activity. Third type of activity is a control flow activity, and when any activity which helps you to perform a logical operation, which are for each activity, get metadata activity, okay? And then your lookup activity, all of that activity comes under a control flow activity. And this activity, control flow activity, is also been asked in the interview. So in the interview, someone will directly ask you, hey, what is control flow activity? Then your mind will sometime get confused because you often will not use this term while working with data factory, right? So here you will use lookup activity. So you know what is lookup activity, but if someone asks you what is control flow activity, you will not get it directly. So you need to remember this term. Control flow activity means the activity which helps you to perform any logical operations, such as like a lookup activity, metadata activity, for each activity, all of that activity. We will go one by one to each and every activity and try to understand the activity in the detailed fashion. Okay. Try to understand it in the detailed fashion. That is what we will do. One second. Yeah. Hello, Izzy. Yeah. So today we will understand the whole agenda of today's class to understand the copy data activity in the detailed fashion, because this activity is very, very important for us. Why? Because this is a main copy activity which helps you to move the data from one point to another. So this is very important activity. So we will understand this copy data activity in a detailed fashion today. Okay, that is the agenda for today's class. Okay, that is what we will do. Now, yesterday we have understood how to make a normal source and sink. So what we have done, we have moved the data from source to the sink. Okay, that is what we have done. So let me again make a simple copy data activity. So here I will write data lake, gen2, CSV file. Okay, here I will select the link service. Then I will search my file which I want to move from the input container. Suppose this file I want to move. Okay. And whenever you are making a data set, try to give a proper name. Okay, it's DS department copy. Okay, so if you give a proper name, then it makes sense. Okay, so it makes sense. What does it mean? What does it mean? It makes sense. Okay, and also give your pipeline a proper name. Okay, whenever you're developing. So suppose here pipeline name can be changed over from here. So pipeline department copy, department copy. Okay. And then copy data activity name can be changed from here. Suppose input to output copy. Okay, something like that. Source. Why I'm saying, because now if you have multiple data, suppose I have multiple data, by looking at this, I can understand this is the new watermark, this is the old watermark, this is department copy, all of that I can understand. But if you don't give a proper name from the data set name itself, you won't be able to understand. That is why it is important to give a proper name. Okay. Now I'm going to the sink data lake. Here, suppose I am copying and I'm copying the department file. First row as a header. We will always select first row as a header, import schema as none. Okay, we will always select the first row as a header, import schema as none. Why? Because currently this file is not present. So if you just select import schema as none, you will get the error that this file is not present. How I can import the schema? The error. Okay, so ideally that file, why it got successfully completed? Because in the output container, probably that file is already present. That is why it got successfully completed. So if I open this file in the output container, that file is already present. So if I delete the file, it will give you the error basically. See, department CSU is already present. That is why it is like successfully completed. But always select import schema as none. Okay. Now I am now if we see this pipeline, this is it, the dot is symbol is coming over here, right? What does it mean? It is in the development phase. Okay. You haven't published it. So if you refresh your whole pipeline, all the development will gone. Okay. So like if I just refresh it now, all the development will be gone. So it is very important to publish the pipeline before you log out or before you close the tab. It is important to publish. What does it validate? Does validate actually checks if all the pipeline is in the proper setting or not. Suppose you don't select anything over here. Okay, suppose that's the case. You don't like you keep it blank. Okay, suppose I am keeping it blank. Then if I validate, it is giving me the error. Why? Because it is saying that something is blank over here. You need to fill it out so that I can save it. Okay. So we first need to validate and then we will need to debug. If we debug, then we'll understand whether the copy data activity is running fine or not. That is what we'll understand. Now this is the pipeline which we have made. This is the copy data activity and this is the pipeline name. This is the copy data activity and these are the two data set. One is the source, one is the sync data set. Okay. Now whatever settings you will do, so if I click on the white space, okay, so whatever settings is over here, this is a pipeline setting. Okay, so whatever setting, this settings belongs to a pipeline setting. If I click over here, this setting, whatever setting we are doing over here, it is a copy data activity setting. Okay, so if I change this setting, it only belongs to copy data activity. Okay, it doesn't belongs to a data set. It doesn't belong to, it belongs to pipeline because activity is a part of your copy data activity, but it is a copy data activity setting. Now if I open this, this is the data set. So see, second tab open, right? So this is the data set setting. So whatever setting you will do over here, it belongs to a data set setting. Okay, so there are three settings. One is pipeline setting, second is copy data activity setting, third is data set setting. So there are two data set, one pipeline, one activity, two data set. Okay, now if you see, the source is also data lake, sync is also data lake. So whatever setting coming in the source and whatever setting coming in the sync, both are different. Why? Because source and sync setting will also change. Okay, and kind of source and kind of sync you choose, that also changes the setting. If I choose this, then it completely got changed, and it makes sense as well. Why? Because SQL has a different setting and data lake has a different setting anyways. Okay, so this is what the copy data activity, the pipeline, and then data set settings and all of that, right? Now any confusion, guys? Do you have any confusion? Others, uh, uh Az, Supreet, any confusion, guys? Or it's clear, I can go forward.
You can go forward for me. It's
Yeah,
just need some practice, but
yeah,
so far so
yeah,
good, I guess.
yeah. Okay, fine. So I will consider silence as a no. Let's go forward. Okay. And easy, it is very important, very, very important, not for easy, for everyone. It is very, very important to practice and be with me always. If you don't practice for 2 class, 3 class, 4 class, then you are just wasting the course. I'm being very honest. The people who haven't done the homework will not be able to get a job if they want to get a job by using this course, and the people who are not doing the homework will not be able to utilize the course for their project or for anything. So it is from my own experience that people who lack on practicing will just listen to me and then it will not help us. So please make sure you practice on time. Why? Because it is very difficult to cover up the backlog if you miss on it. Okay, so that is why please be on time and please complete the homework on time, because it is very, very boring. I'm being very, very honest that if you just lack 2 class, then it is very boring to be on weekend, to utilize whole of your weekend to watch 2 hour recording and then do the homework of all the 2 hours of recording in this like reels kind of world where we cannot give attention to 30 seconds of the reel as well. So it is very difficult to watch 2 hours of technical recording and do it. Okay, so be with me, complete the homework on time, and that will make your life easy. Now let's go. Source and sync is done, right? So let's go on the general tab. Okay, in the general tab we are able to see the name. We are able, if we want to write a more description on it, Suppose you want to write description on it that using this activity, I am moving, we are moving the data, or we are moving from input to output. We are moving department data from input to output. That you can write over here. Timeout setting means what is timeout means? Okay, so timeout means like this is by default 12 hours. Okay, by default it is 12 hours. So suppose your copy data activity, if it doesn't completes in 12 hours, then it will give you the error. Why this settings is here and how you can utilize it? Suppose when you're doing a development, you always feel that this copy data activity usually take 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or suppose to be on the safer side 15 minutes. Okay, but when like you want to get a alert if it is taking 1 hour, if it is taking 2 hours, so it, because it is taking unusual amount of time, probably in the server side some problem is there. Okay, so you don't want to hang this particular copy data activity. So what you will do, you will give a timeout error that suppose it generally take 5 minutes, I will give a timeout error of 30 minutes. 30 minutes, if it's still not getting completed, then something is fishy. I will come and then I will check that. So here you can utilize the timeout error accordingly. Okay, once it fails, how many times it needs to retry, you can check it over here, how many times and it needs to retry. Okay, then retry me like how many times it needs to try, and in how many gap it this particular copy data activity needs to retry. Okay, suppose it got failed. Okay, then in 30 seconds let's retry, or in 40 seconds let's retry. Okay, so you just given a time and then you want to retry, that is what it is there. Now if I go to, now I'm going to the mapping feature directly. What is just this mapping feature? Let's import the schema and we will try to use the mapping feature now. Why it is showing department? I selected the department table, right? Let me see. Yeah, somehow it became. Yeah, so if you see there are two columns, right? Department column. Now suppose what I want to do, when I'm making a copy, I want to delete some column. Okay, so there are currently 2 columns, but suppose there are 10 columns or there are 20 columns, and then when you're copying, you are not interested in all the column, you are just interested in 1 column, 2 column, 3 column, that you can manage, that you can delete. Okay, why I'm taking two small data set? Because I don't want to waste time in just like running the bigger data set. Okay, I'm taking a small data set, but the function will exact work in the same manner. So what I will do, suppose I want to delete a department ID column. I don't want department ID column. So I can delete that. And then if I run it in the sync, you will only see the name column. You will not see the department ID column. This is how you can use the mapping feature. Now, if I open the output, if I click over here, now if you see, I'm a, sorry, why it is happening like that? It shouldn't be there. Yeah. This is the link service which I am using right now, but I am looking at the different storage account. That is why. So let me open that and let's go to the data lake storage output department. See, only name column is there, right? So other column got deleted automatically. So you can use this for deleting the column. Okay, that is what you can do. Now, suppose what I want to interchange the columns. Okay, so I don't want department ID to be a first column. I want the name to be a first column. And then department ID I want as a second column. That also you can do. So suppose there are 100 column. Now there is a 100th column which is very much interesting for you. You want to move it ahead. Okay. So this is how you can do it. You can just change in the mapping feature and then run it.
Abhishek,
Yeah.
under mapping feature, can I add new column?
Yes. Yes. That also you can do. I will cover that. I will not cover that, but I want you guys to try it. I will give you how you can try it. Okay. So here in the name, I have interchanged the column, I have deleted the column. Okay, that is what you can do in the mapping feature. And or what else you can do if I click on this, the type conversions also you can do. So suppose if you have some column in which you want to change the data type of that column, that also can be done by using mapping feature. Now coming to the question of uh, here coming to the question of additional column, can we add an additional column over here? Yes, we can add additional column. Here you can add new column. Okay. And then you can write the name of the column, that which column you want to add. Suppose name of the column is like file name or something. Okay. And then here you can add the value, whatever value you want to assign. Okay. And then in the mapping feature, you can map it. Okay. How you want to do it. You can mapping feature, you can map it. See, this is the name column came and then you can map it. Okay, so you can try it by your own. I am deleting that for now. Here from here also as I am deleting that for now. So two things you guys need to try, like in the mapping feature, data type conversion and additional column. Okay. Yeah, now let's go to let's like publish this. Okay. If I publish this, then only if I refresh, then this pipeline will be there. If you refresh it, like suppose if I just create something, okay, over here, if I create something and if I just refresh it, this pipeline will be gone because I haven't published it. Okay, so if I just refresh it, now see that pipeline gone, but this pipeline is here, right? This pipeline is here. Now suppose if I want to, like here, either you can debug or you can trigger. Suppose I want to trigger it. Okay, what does trigger means? Suppose like we will go through it in the detailed fashion, but there are two ways to run the pipeline. Either you debug or you trigger. Okay, trigger the file. Suppose I'm triggering the file. Now if I click over here, I can see the debug run. that whatever runs I am doing in the debug mode, that I can see over here, and I can see all the runs in the trigger mode as well. See, currently just now I have triggered the pipeline. You can see the trigger run. If I open the trigger run, then here you can analyze it, like what is the input, what was the output, okay, how what we have copied, all of that you can analyze it. Now if I go further on this, there is a user property. Okay, here is what we have, a user property. Okay, this is a user property. Now currently there is nothing in the user property. How we can use user property? So if I go over here, if I click on the user property, we can click auto generate. Okay, so here it is saying that this is my source and this is my sink. Okay, now you can add some more things over here. Developer is suppose Abhishek. Okay, and then just add extra information. Developed on 2023 07/28. So anything which you feel that important for a debugger to know, okay, that you can add any notes. Okay, so I am publishing this now, and if I trigger it now, I will see the user property directly. Okay,
Abhishek, the user property in the sense, information regarding the files.
information regarding anything pertaining to a user. It is up to you what you want to add it over here and how you want to utilize it. But generally, it is like, it is for the debugging purpose. Suppose if I go over here, then I just triggered it, right? So let me show you. So if I open this department copy, now if I go over here, in the user property, I'm not able to see it. Why it is not coming? Yeah, see, now it came. Now here, if I click over here, okay, so I am able to see this is my source, this is my destination, developed by Abhishek, like, so that I can, if it fails, then I can directly ping Abhishek to basically resolve that. Or I don't need to just, like, suppose this is my source. If it failed, then I don't need to go inside the pipeline. Okay, so if I don't need to go inside the pipeline, click on this, click on this, click on this, and then understand, hey, this is department.csv. That I don't need to do. I can basically understand over there as well. It is pertaining to user, whatever property you want to add. As simple as that. Okay. Now this is the mapping. This is user property. Any confusion on the mapping and user property, guys?
Mapping allows you to make changes in the column itself, right? Or does it provide?
Make changes in the column. Yeah.
It doesn't provide in record level
No.
changes. Okay.
No. Okay. So now the next is I will go on the source side and we will understand the source side in detailed fashion now. In the source side, we have this three setting. Okay, file path, wildcard, and list of file. Okay, what is that? So if I click on the wildcard, okay, now suppose here, suppose here I have multiple file, department one, CSV, department one, CSV, department two, CSV, employee data.csv, employee CSV, list of files, all of that is there, right? Now others told to me that Abhishek, I want to move department file, department one file, department two file, all of the file I want to move. I am not interested to move only one file. Okay, that can be done by using wildcard. Okay, so here if I go and here if I type wildcard name as department star, okay, that is what I if I name, and what it will do, it will copy department one, department two, because whatever starts with department, it will copy everything basically. Okay, so here I am deleting. Here what I will do, I am deleting everything now just to clear it up and show you again. Now let me make in the sync. What I will do, I will make a wildcard folder. And now I will run this basically. What happened? Copy behavior must be merge file when. One second. Yeah, so here what we need to do in the sync. Here I don't need to give the file name right now because I am moving multiple files, right? So why I will give the file name? I will not give any file name over here. Now if I run it, then it's on because there are three files. So why we are giving a particular file name? That was the error. So we can validate. Everything seems fine. Now we can run it. Done. Now if I go over here, if I refresh it, see in the wildcard, I do have all the department file. And you can say, Abhishek, why this is txt? It can be changed if you go over here, if you go to the sync, file extension. If you type the file extension, use the name of the output file will be ignored when the output file is configured. So here you can type CSV and then it will give you CSV files. File extension means there is no file, right? So it is just giving the extension, whatever you have given, taken over there in the output file extension. Now, if I go on the output, if I refresh it, see all the CSV also came in, right? So this is how you can use the wildcard. And similarly, other way around. Suppose if you say that Abhishek, I want to copy all the CSV file, okay, star.csv. Then in that case, you can give star.csv. All the CSV file will be copied in that case, and it will leave the other kind of file. So if I go to the input container, probably there is other files as well. Let me show you. See JSON, XML, all the files is there, right? But if I write and text file is also there. If I write dot star CSV, it will copy only CSV file. So it is giving a error. Why? Because here in the department file, we don't need to like keep any schema over here. We need to clear it. Okay. So because beside department file, there are multiple files over here, employee file and also other files is there. If you write the import schema for the employee file, there is a different schema. Okay. So I'm just clearing it for now. Now, if I go over here, if I open the output container, if I open wildcard, all the CSV file came in. Okay, all the CSV file. You are saying you can say that Abhishek, there is TXT file as well. It is from the different copy operation which we have performed, but ideally there is only CSV file came in because of that. Okay. Before that as well we have copied, right? From that it came. Okay. Now, any confusion on the wildcard, guys?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. Now, if I click over here, okay, suppose how to use list of file. Okay, how to use list of file. Now, suppose what I want to do, I basically, if I go to the input container, I am interested in 3 files. What are the files I'm interested in? I am interested in department.csv. I am interested in employee.csv, and I am interested in sample data.csv. These are the 3 CSV I'm interested in, and I don't want to copy anything else beside that. Okay, so you need to make a metadata in Dasket of employee.csv, department.csv, and sample data.csv. Okay. Now you can upload this CSV anywhere. So here, suppose I am uploading this CSV over here. In the input only, suppose I am uploading over here. Okay. Now I will just refer this over here. I will browse. I will go to the input and I will refer this list of file what I have made. And here in the sync, I will here instead of copying it to the wildcard, I will mention list of file. Specifying the name in the source dataset is not allowed when, okay, 1 second. We go to the source. When path to list of file. Let me open it and see if everything looks fine. It's fine. Specifying the file name in the source dataset. File name in the source dataset. Okay. Yeah. So here we are mentioning file name in the source dataset, right? It is not allowed because you want to copy a specific file. Okay. List of file. Now done. What I suggest you guys is to make different copy data activity for list of file, wildcard, and list of file, wildcard, whatever you're trying basically. Okay, don't do it in one copy data activity because you will get error what I am getting probably. And for this is the first time, right? So you won't be able to directly figure out probably that where to make the changes. So you go to the output container. If I open list of file, why there is only two file now? Let's try to understand that. If I go to input and then if I open list of file text, yeah, so probably there is only one file. I uploaded like a wrong CS list of file. Yeah. So there are two files mentioned over here, and those are the only file which got copied. Okay, if you see the output container, list of file, yeah, only two files. Okay. So this is list of file and this is wildcard. Okay, now let's go to the recursive. Okay, so here I will choose again wildcard file path, start CSV, and then we will choose recursive. What does recursive means? So if I go to the input container, if I have a folder 1, inside that I have a file. Folder 2, I have a file. Folder 3, I don't have anything. Okay, so what recursive will go? Recursive will go folder inside a folder and then basically make a copy. Okay, that is what recursive will do. So what it will do, it will go folder inside a folder and then make a copy. So here what I have done, I have selected recursively, and recursive always goes with the wildcard. Okay, so here you need to choose a wildcard as well when you are doing a recursive. Now what I will do, I will make a recursive folder over here, recursive. And then let's run it. Yeah,
Abhishek,
succeeded.
I didn't get what did you enter in the metadata, not metadata, mapping. In mapping,
In mapping, I haven't done anything.
okay, yeah.
Your confusion is
It's in
regarding which feature?
wildcard.
Wildcard
So
is start CSV.
in recursive, it copies data
Folder
sequentially,
is
right?
folder inside a folder basically.
Okay.
So
So
suppose if you don't select wildcard, then sorry, if you don't select recursive, it will not go inside the folder.
okay. So it just copies whatever
Folder you have
uh,
selected.
okay.
Okay.
You mean
So
only the level 1, right?
level 1, yeah.
Okay.
So I will show you. So here if I go to the output container, I have selected recursive. That is why see folder 1, folder 2, and then there is no folder 3. Why there is no folder 3? Because it will copy if only the file is present over there. Okay, so if I go over here, if I open input, if I open folder 1, folder 2, folder 3. There is no file in the folder C. So it will not copy the blank folder. That is also important to note. Now coming to your question, here if I don't select recursive, right? If I don't select recursive, let's not select recursive over here. And I am just selecting wildcard. So in that case, if I go to the output container and let's delete over here as well. I'm deleting recursive for now. Now if I run it and I haven't selected recursively, then you will not see any folder. It will just copy the file in the input container itself, but it will not go under a folder. That it will not happen. Okay.
Okay, in wildcard path, you have to compulsorily put star.csv.
You need to put as per your requirement. If you want to copy only CSV file, then you need to put that. If you are
Okay.
copying recursively department file, then you need to put that. It depends on the requirement. What do you want? And accordingly you need to put.
Okay, suppose if I want to copy everything, I mean CSV text file, whatever is it's there. So do I have to mention anything in that?
What you can try, let's
Wildcard.
remove that. Okay, let's remove it completely, but it will not, I guess, yeah, it will give you the error. So for that requirement, if you want to copy everything, okay, so for that you need to reiterate it, like iterate it like star CSV, or let's put a star only. Let's see whether it function or not. Yeah, so if I just put a star and then if I run it, let's see. Well, let me show you that first. So if I haven't selected recursive, okay. Now if I go to the recursive one, here you're not able to see any folder because we haven't checked on the recursive, okay.
Mhm.
That is why you're not able to see any folder. Now let's select only star and let's select recursive. And then see whether it is copying everything or not. Okay. So if I go to the output container and if I delete this recursive, and then let's run it now. Yeah, see, it copied everything now.
Okay.
You just put need to star. It is
Star.
just like how you want to copy and what is the requirement. Accordingly, you need to put that, and then it will
Mhm.
work. Okay.
Yeah.
Any confusion on this, guys?
In list,
List of file.
so list of files, does it have the option of only reading files through the text? I mean, what is that? Notepad, or does it support Excel, other formats also?
It only supports 1 second. Yeah, it only points the text file. See, point to a text file that list each file. It
Okay.
is not mentioning that we can point any file. But in future, I will tell you the method of like, because text file is not anyways a feasible option always. So I will tell you the method of doing that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Now this is completed for wildcard list of file and then recursive. Now, few things which you need to try. First is additional column, then data type conversion, which I have told you in mapping feature. Then we have additional feature over here, last modified date. Okay, so you can copy by using last modified date as well. Suppose in the input container, you have multiple files over here. If you see like 19/7, this date, this date, this date, 28th, like this is a recent file. Suppose I am interested in an only old file. Okay, so I am interested in only 19th file. That also you can do by mentioning here last modified date over here. And one important thing to notice here, you need to put in UTC. But here you will see in your time zone. So currently in my time zone, the time is, if you see, it is 5:07. Okay, so it will showing me in the my time zone. But here, if you open this, it will show in your time zone. But here you need to put in UTC time zone. Okay, that is important. So try to do that, and also try to do the additional column. Okay, that is the homework. And one more thing which you need to try is, suppose if I make a link service for a blob container. I don't have any blob or no. I do have a blob service. Why it is not coming? Okay, new link service I need to make, and then here I need to select what is the blob container ADLS Gent1. Now, if you see here, one more option is coming, which is prefix. So prefix is the department thing which we have done. Department 1, Department 2, Department 3. It is same as prefix. Okay. So like whenever a particular name starts with particular name, if you want to copy that, like Department 1, Department 2, Department 3, Employee 1, Employee 2, Employee 3, something like that, then you will use prefix. What Azure has realized, prefix and wildcard can, like, it is same kind of a thing. If you use wildcard, then you can like cater the prefix requirement as well. So they combine both of the option, because in the data lake they need to upgrade that. So here in the prefix and wildcard is kind of a same. They integrated and made only wildcard, but you can try prefix as well. Okay. So try to use prefix, try to use additional column, try to use your data type conversion. So these are the things is the homework. So all of that you need to try. Now let me write this homework over here. So tomorrow is Saturday for Moni, Puspa and AZ. At what time you guys wake up? So can we keep the class tomorrow at 3 p.m. German time, and for you it will be 9 a.m. morning? Is it too soon? Can we keep that or no? And for others as well, it will be 6:30 p.m. IST. Will that work for you?
You mean you're conducting class tomorrow?
Yeah.
Tomorrow at what time? IST?
3 p.m. 3 p.m. German time, so it will be 6:30 IST. And
6:30.
or what we can do, we can keep tomorrow as a gap, and Sunday we can connect if you guys are okay with that, 3 p.m. or something.
Sunday I'm not available.
Tomorrow, are you available?
Yeah, I'll make it.
And for others, is that fine? It is
Yeah,
up to you guys. I am okay to have a class tomorrow, but if you feel so, we can have a class on Monday as well. That's not a problem for me. What do you guys say?
I need some time.
Okay, so let's do it on Monday. You guys can also practice. We will connect Monday 4 p.m. same time what we have decided. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and
Thank you.
homework will be we need to try mapping. Sorry, we need to first try copy, simple copy if you have tried already. Then we need to try mapping. In the mapping, we need to try delete a column, add a column. Okay. and also interchange the column. Plus data type conversion, you can see how we can do it. Then comes the user property. Then comes your wildcard. Okay, in the wildcard you need to try star dot csv plus department star. Okay, and then fourth is you need to try list of file, and then you need to try recursive, and then move the data by using last modified date. This also you need to try. All of this you need to try, and then we will see Monday 4 p.m. German time, same time. Okay.
These
See.
all comes in the copy activity, right?
All of that comes under copy activity.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So if you have any confusion, any doubt, feel free to help each other. Feel free to connect each other. Feel free to post this question in the group so that we can discuss any questions. And just ping me as well if you need any help. But make sure on Monday when we connect, we have done all the 3 classes of homework. Okay, because Saturday Sunday is there. It is a good time to just go through your backlog if there is any. So go through it, collect the doubt, discuss that on Monday. Okay, see you then. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye guys. Bye.